Welcome everyone. In this video I will review the Udarniy, which is a tier 8 Russian premium heavy tank. So the Udarniy and the Object 259A looks exactly the same from the exterior, almost the same. So I have here the Udarniy and let's go to the Object 259A. As you can see, these tanks looks almost similar, but the big difference is regards to the speed of these tanks. So and obviously the alpha damage. So let's uh, do here a quick comparison. So the alpha damage we have here 390, the 259E has 420. The penetration values are different. This tank has higher penetration values, but this tank has better DPM. As you can see, gun loading 11.5 second here, 14.38, and the 259E turns his turret faster. 60 of gun impression on both of these tanks. The gun is better on this tank, as you can see, because we have here aim time 2.97, here 2.68, quicker aim time and better accuracy here because the Udarniy has worst the worst gun 0.4 dispersion value and here 0.36, but as you can see the DPM is 2034 and here 1700. So, and this has got more HP plus 150, as you can see, 1600 here, 1450. The armor on this tank is better than on this tank. Here it says 300, but I will check at the end of the video how greater the armor is here. And the mobility here, this tank, let's go here to the speed limit. We have here 45 km per hour forward speed, reverse speed 12. The 259A goes with 60 km per hour forward speed, so the speed difference is really big. Other than that, there is no, yeah, the view range 360 meters here and 380 on the on this tank. So we have here worst. So by the stats, this tank looks worst. The only good thing is the armor. So let's continue about this tank, the review. So first of all, this tank is a combination between the IS-7 and the Object 257 and the IS-7. This is the thing about this tank. So the crew, we have here 5 crew members, commander, gunner, driver, and 2 loaders. Let's now talk about the gun of this tank. We have here 122mm caliber gun with 390 alpha damage and 530 HE. As the penetration goes, we have here APCR base standard ammunition with 221 millimeters penetration value, heat ammunition with 285 high, both these penetration values are high for a tier 8 heavy tank, and 61 HE. So the the gun abrasion of this tank is 6, which is really good on a Russian tank, especially this is a tier 8 premium heavy tank. The alpha damage, as I said, 390, which can handle up to 488, which is really good. The DPM is 2000, which is good base DPM, which means we have 11.5 seconds for 390 alpha damage. The accuracy is bad, definitely 2.9 sec. Aim time is really unbelievably long and bad, and dispersion value 0.4. This makes, if you are not fully aimed, you will miss, but even if you are fully aimed with this dispersion value, you will miss even in close 100, 200 meters or 250 meters range. So the gun stats are looking just really bad with this huge aim time. HP 1600, good, and the armor I will check at the end of the video. This tank weighs in 65 ton, which means the Object 277, this tank weighs in 55, and the tier 8 tank is more heavy than a tier 10 tank. So we have here W277 with 55 ton, and we have the Udarniy with 65. So 10 ton difference here. Basically, this tier 8 heavy tank is more heavier than a tier 10 heavy tank. So we have here 900 horsepower. This means we have 45 km per hour forward speed and backward speed is 12 km per hour. This tank will actually go with, will reach that 45 km per hour forward speed on hard terrain, on medium terrain around 33, and soft terrain 22 km per hour. Concealment, heavy tank concealment, and the view range is 360 meter. Let's go now and configure this tank. So to the field modifications, this at max level. Here I will select this to maintain our tank speed on all terrain types. And so here, let's go to the firepower. Here we have this modification to make the gun more accurate, to reduce the dispersion value, but the aim time will will go even higher at 3.12 sec. So definitely I don't want this. But this I will make the aim time quicker, but I will have worst disperse 0.41. So I assume that I don't want any of these because this is just huge disadvantage overall. And I don't want to add any plus to that. So, but this to have better view range, definitely I will need this. So let's select all the good crew skills what I can have here. This camo paint on the tank, the extra food, and here we have the first slot is survivability slot, and for survivability I can have ventilation or I can have this HP boost. I will go with HP boost in the second slot, and I can have mobility to turbocharge the tank or firepower, but the mobility is already good. 45 km/h forward speed on a heavy tank is really good, but here I will select on the firepower slot the gun rammer. Now this will boost my DPM really good. And here I can have the stabilizer or this to have more to make the gun more accurate, or even this as can serve as a stabilizer, or yeah, I will go definitely with a stabilizer. So the ammunition types we have here: base AP ammunition with 221 millimeters of base penetration value. Shell speed is 1100. This is really good ammo type and cost only 1180 credits. The the heat ammunition, the gold ammunition, has 285 millimeters of penetration value. Really good for a tier 8 heavy tank. The shutter speed is 820, slower, but definitely not slow for this for a heat type ammunition. So it's really good. Definitely faster than a normal EP shells. So, but this is really expensive. As you can see, 5,200 credits for only one shell, which deals only 390 alpha damage. So it's really expensive to shoot heat emission in this tank. The HE 61mm penetration value with 663 damage, max high roll damage. So really good. Shot speed 790, definitely slow, feels slow, but on close range on paper tanks or the rear side of the tanks, you can pen them easily with 61 millimeters of penetration value. So let's go now and check the set of this tank with these equipments. DPM really good, which means we have 9.5 second for 390 alpha damage. This feels really quick, only 9.5 second. The aim time 2.78, still long. Dispersion value 0.38 is still bad. This tank will still miss and will aim slow. So bad gun. The HP now is amazing, 1820, like a tier 9 tank as a HP value. The let's go here, view range 418. Yeah, it's good, not great, but it's good. So let's go now and check the armor of this tank. So as you can see, the tank is really well armored. In the weak spots of these tanks are in the cupola here, as you can see, 120 millimeter. Let's go closer, and the second cupola 100, but it's hard and not visible. So, and I'm comparing this tank armor against the IS-7 with 130 millimeter caliber gun, 250 millimeters base AP ammunition penetration value. So the upper plate of this tank, if you are facing a tank frontally like this, he will have around 285. So even a tier 10 tank with base ammunition can't pen this tank. The only weak spot of this tank is this diamond shape here at the front of the hull. As you can see, with 180 millimeters of armor thickness. Here to the left side, it's just auto ricochet. As you can see, 360, and let's go to visual here. So as you can see, these tubes just don't shoot here because this you will not make any damage. The tubes which are connecting the track links to the hull, as you can see. So this is not just don't shoot here. Here the only weak spot is this diamond. Other than that, this is auto ricochet here, and here. The gun metal of this tank, it has weak spot. As you can see, close to the gun, we have here 270 millimeters of armor protection, only 270 to the left and to the right side. Below, yeah, is a 426, and the upper side is same 400 around, so 270, 400. But to the left and to the right, you can pen the gun metal of this tank. So yes, other than that, the cheeks 300 16 here, cupola one on the weak spot here, and the gun mantlet here. These are the weak spots from the front, and the diamond shape here. Let's go back to live. Let's go to the top of the tank is not overmatchable, not even with APCR, heat, or anything like that. So this is not a weak spot. Let's go on to the left side of this tank. In the turret, he has around from 235 to 140, 250. Here in the hull, 138. As you can see, the side here 151 spaced armor, and below 900 around the 98, 100. As you can see, the tank has a really thick spaced armor, which will absorb heat emissions, and if you shoot in an angle like this, heat emissions, HEs, hash emission types will reduce the damage value. So the rear side here we have in the turret 120, at the back 92 and 120. So the tank is really well armored overall. Other side same configuration here. The tank can side scrape, so don't side scrape in this tank, because you will get shot in the shoulder plate and you will get ammo wrecked easily with 231 millimeters of armor protection value here in the shoulder. So no side scraping in this tank. If you're shooting gold emission against this tank, as you can see, not even 303 millimeters of gold emission, which the IS-7 has, can pan reliably the upper plate of this tank, only diamond shape here. The gun mantle, as you can see, 270 is easy, but the turret cheeks just not. And here below the neck, so no really weak spot cupola, this diamond and gun mantlet, that's it. So the conclusion about this tank, I will say the only good thing about this tank is the armor against tier 8 tanks, definitely, but tier 10, you will still have a huge cupola, so yes, good thing, 6 degree of gun depression, good DPM, as you can see, 2400, quick reload, 390 alpha damage, it's good. And the HP, definitely good. The HP speed, definitely good for 45 km per hour speed for a heavy tank, definitely not bad. It's not like 35. And view range is acceptable. And yeah, now the bad side of this tank is the gun. And yeah, the good side on the heat emission with 285 millimeters of penetration value is really good against tier 9 tanks and even tier 10 tanks from the front. So the bad thing about this tank is the gun, long game time, bad accuracy, missing gun all the time, and yeah, I would say the backdoor of this tank is only the gun and nothing else. That's it. So, thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe.